Good morning, my friends. Firstly, the bad news. I slept through my alarm. Must have fell asleep took me a while, so probably about 1 o'clock. And my alarm was set for 5 for a potential sunrise. And I just didn't hear it. I'm not that surprised because I've been struggling for sleep lately for various reasons, a few health issues. I might mention them briefly on the walk back, on the hike back down, but once I got sleep, I slept really well, which was impressive. I literally waking up half an hour ago, 8:30, so can't complain about that. And we got an epic sunset, so at least we got that. It's still windy, but I'm hoping we're going to go down a different way, so I'm hoping still that the way I'm going to go down will give us a bit of wind cover so we can get the drone up. I'll do my best to anyway. But yeah, just in the process of packing everything up. Some things are already bagged up, sleeping bag is. It's just the old sleeping pad. I can't fault the best way. Alpine Light, it is super comfy, super warm. The only downside is packing it up, it traps air. So it's a bit of a nuisance packing it up. Though I think I've cracked it by sucking every last bit of air out possible. But yeah, we're gonna get packed up. I've just had a quick energy drink, give me some energy, and then I want to get down off the edge on the other side of the edge, stop there for a coffee, and then we can weigh up what the wind's like and hopefully do a bit of drone flying. So yeah, I'm going to continue packing up and I'll bring you back from underneath the edge. Yep, I'll catch you down there, guys. Yeah, see you soon. So in previous videos I have done videos about how easy this tent is to set up, and just showing you, basically doing a little review of the Wild Country helm. I'm not sure, because them videos never made it to YouTube because I didn't do enough filming. If I've still got the clip of that, I will post it, but if not, I'll just show you from the inside. It's just got, this is your main little porch area, which is just enough room to do a little bit of cooking inside if it's raining. But where it's really clever is, instead of having wasted space, you've got this here that, so you zip it up and it's just normal. You can open up one zip and you've just got mesh for extra ventilation, stop things getting full of condensation. Or you can open the whole thing up, and that's where I store my backpack and other things, meaning you can keep your main porch area completely free apart from food and drink. So really clever that is. The whole tent, because it's inner and outer pitched together, I'm not joking, takes me about 5 minutes. I mean, yeah, I've pitched it now at least half a dozen times, maybe 8 times, but it's foolproof. You've got 2 poles, one red, one blue. The blue pole, oh well, I'll tell you what, we'll go outside and I'll show you, and then it's time to pack up. Bit hazy towards Manchester, but you can just about make out. What a magical place to spend the night. But yeah, when it comes to pitching this tent, it's super easy. So like I say, you've got a red pole and a blue pole. So the blue pole goes in the blue little fabric with the holes in, and it's also got a blue marker on the sleeve. And then the red pole, which is pre-bent, guess what, goes in the red fabric, and again through the red sleeve. The whole thing takes 5 minutes, I'm not joking. Morning, friendly folk, hikers and campers. So it's such an easy tent pitch, because you pitch the inner and outer at the same time. It's also great if it's raining, because a lot of tents you pitch the inner first, and if it's raining then you're knackered because the inner's wet. So yeah, this, you just pitch the whole thing in one go and it's good. I have done a video, but I've got a feeling I might have deleted it, because all these other camping trips I've been on, I've meant to film them all, but then I've just got carried away chatting, and I'm good at that. But yeah, I can't fault this tent. I mean, it is by Terra Nova, who in my opinion make the best tents in Britain. I mean, obviously you've got Vango, but they're a bit more on the budget market. I mean, this is Terra Nova's budget brand, but still, a budget brand by Terra Nova is a high quality budget brand. So, but yeah, I absolutely love this tent. It's brilliant, it really is. So right, time to get everything in my bag, head down underneath Blackstone Edge, and yeah, there's still wind, but compared to last night it's much less. So yeah, we'll get some drone video. Okie doke guys, I'll bring you back when we're on the hike home. What time is it? I want to call in the pub for possibly even some food, and just for go down memory lane, have a latte and probably the wheat sheaf, because it'll bring back so many memories, and I'll also tell the story of how I ended up moving up here, because it's quite the story. So yeah, but I'll bring you back down on the other side of Blackstone Edge. Same old message, but never been more important. Leave no trace. You know, I know everyone says it once they've packed up, but it needs saying more, because it's getting worse. It's some of the things you see in places of natural beauty, which this most definitely is one. And you see, it's so sad. It's got worse since COVID, but I can tell you what, my bag now is at least a third lighter than it was hiking it up here. And I can guarantee, even though I'm dead against people coming out of these places with them disposable Barbies, I'm dead against that, but even those who are coming up just with a picnic and a few drinks, whatever they bring up, it's always going to be lighter carrying it down. So why they don't, it makes me blood boil. But yeah, leave no trace guys. Honestly, the earth will thank you for it. But yeah, what a wonderful little place to pitch. I shall certainly, well, I've got a whole host of places to camp around this area, so I will be back here at some point, but before that there's some hills heading towards the Saddleworth Moors area, because I did spend, while I was living up here, I did spend 6 months in Shore, which is on the outskirts of Oldham, and they've got some Saddleworth Moor rises up from there, so that's somewhere else I want to go. But I shall certainly be back here. What a magical place. So right, yeah, I'm gonna head back down sort of the way I came, and then we're gonna walk underneath the Blackstone Edge and get have a brew down there, and while I'm doing that, hopefully get some decent drone footage. Right, I'll bring you back down on the other end of the edge. So a little bit of a change of plan. I don't know if I said, I lost my wireless mic briefly, but I found it. Just gone to do a video and it wouldn't connect, which is weird because it's paired to this camera, and every time I just turn the mic on and the camera on, they just connect. Well, I've just gone through Google, trying all sorts. In the end, it just reconnected. Weird. But anyway, the change of plan is I only went as far as the trig point, so I'm just going to walk the whole length of the top of Blackstone Edge, and then we're going to drop down to Littleborough down an old Roman road. So I don't know if we're able to see the route from here, but we're going to walk along this escarpment all the way to the end, and then about, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile at most, we reach this Roman road. So we'll follow that down, and we'll make our way to, well, Littleborough's there. Like I say, I might call in one of my old locals for a morning latte, and who knows, a bite to eat, just for nostalgia reasons, because I used to spend some time in those pubs, let me tell you, and then head back to see Stu. But yeah, I'll obviously bring you with me, because it's going to be we can get some cracking views along the way. But yeah, instead of walking, because I would have been walking across all this boulder field, and it would have been just hard work. So still going to do some drone flying, but we're just going a different way. So yeah, found the mic, got it working, life's good. Bring you back in a bit. So as we approach the trig, I came up to the trig yesterday, but that's as far as I went. So yeah, we're heading off further west this time. But just been thinking, Blackstone Edge is kind of like what the Roaches are to people in Leek and Stoke-on-Trent, you know, when you want to get away from the hustle and bustle and go for a nice walk somewhere picturesque. If you're in Leek or Stoke and you don't want to travel too far, the Roaches is usually your #1 spot. And I think this is pretty much what Blackstone Edge is, because there's the village of Littleborough. It's quite spread out. So I keep calling it a village, it's not, it's a fairly big town. But yeah, you ain't got to come far and you've got magical views. As I said earlier, you can see 4 different counties. So I could see why it's so popular. I forgot what else I was going to say about. According to my mate, it's a shame Stu is back, as he can't work anymore. His back's that bad. It's that bad. Stu loves music as much as me. That's why we first became good mates. Back in the day, we'd be going down Manchester watching a band at least every week. So I've just got to watch where I put my feet. Sometimes we'd be watching 2 bands a week. But his back's that bad now, he can't even go gigs. which breaks his heart, because like I'll go round his when I get back, and he'll be sat down for 10 minutes, and then he has to stand up for 10 minutes. He just can't get comfortable. And yeah, it's such a shame, because when he was a kid, this was his back, well, literally his back garden, and he, you know, it was him who's told me different parts to go when I was up here, but he admits it himself. He'd love to be able to join me, but he can barely walk half a mile. He's actually got a little buggy, which, well, he's got it souped up, but he admits for someone his age, you know, it's not great having a buggy at that age. I mean, he's a good few years older than me, but even so. But so yeah, it is a shame. But at least I can show him these videos and photos, so we can go down memory lane a bit. And he's got tons of ideas for me for future hikes and camps. So yeah, shame he can't come with me, but at least I can show him the videos and the photos. So anyway, back to me. I am now looking for, I'll get the OS app out in a minute, but I will hit a Roman road in the near, somewhere within the next third of a mile, and then I'm going to look for a nice place with a view and get kettle on. So I will see you when I find a nice spot. So back in the day when I used to live up here, probably once a month, we'd get the train up to not Todmorden, we've passed through Todmorden, but we'd go to Hebden Bridge, because, well, Hebden Bridge is a very magical town. And Hebden Bridge is kind of over that way, West Yorkshire. And as I've just been saying, I'm going to be coming up here, and because like I said, back then when I lived here, as I said, I was just in the pub and what have you. Used to see hikers back then and think, crazy people. Well, I'm certainly one of them crazy people now, full-blooded. But as I was saying, like, there's quite a few places around here I want to camp, and just think, yeah, I think a camp up near Hebden Bridge is definitely on the cards, because the train I got up to get to Littleborough, even though I get off at Smithy Bridge, which is like barely a mile just before Littleborough, I only get off there because it's a bit closer to where Stu lives. But if you stay on that same train after Hebden Bridge, after Smithy Bridge, it goes through Littleborough, and then to Todmorden, and then Hebden Bridge before heading on to Leeds or Selby or other locations. So it's only an extra 20 minutes, half an hour to Hebden Bridge, and wow, that'd be an epic camp. So I think the next time I come up here, I'll come up for probably 4 or 5 days, so always spend a day and a night catching up with Stu, because he is one of my oldest and bestest mates. Just a shame he can't join me on these adventures, but yeah, always spend a night with Stu and then go and spend 3 or 4 nights exploring some of these places that I used to go just to go on a pub crawl, whereas now I'll go on a backpacking crawl. So yeah, but this is my view currently. I'm now looking for a Roman road. That's where I get off these moors, head down this little Roman road, and then that slowly takes me back towards Littleborough. But I've got enough water left for one more coffee So I am going to stop somewhere nice, get a brew on, and then head into Littleborough. So yeah. So I'm just looking for somewhere that you can sit steady. So just made a brew for the final push home, and I just want to talk quickly about the benefits of this. Not just wild camping or backpacking, you don't have to do that, but just being out in nature. Now, I don't make any excuses. I suffer very badly with anxiety. Sometimes it can be crippling. And I've tried medications, I've tried therapy. They've all had little bits of benefits, some more than others. One therapist in particular, really, just let me raise you up a bit. One therapist in particular gave me some fantastic advice, and that was really helpful. But absolutely none of it comes close to this. I mean, obviously not everyone's into nature, but if you are, it's just the best antidepressant, anti-stress, anti-anxiety imaginable. You know, it's good physically because you're out hiking. You know, I'll have to check how many miles I've done when I get back, but I imagine here and back it'll be at least. It's not going to be a big one because I've only come up from Littleborough, but I bet it's still being about a 15-mile round trip. So you know you're doing yourself some physical good, but mentally, once I leave the front door, I leave all my problems. Not that I've got many problems, but even without many problems, it doesn't stop me being anxious. But as soon as I'm out the house, they're all gone. All my worries are gone, because I know the people I meet out here, they're all friendly. Like just walking down here, I've stopped to talk to a couple of groups of people and a couple of single hikers. Obviously, because they all see I've got this closed cell phone pad. I sleep on an actual AirPad, but I just use that as like a bit of a tent carpet. But that's a dead giveaway that I've been camping. So, you know, they always ask, where have you been? And then that leads on to further questions like, what kind of equipment do you use? Because us backpackers, we love talking about the different equipment and what have you. And you just get chatting, and everyone's lovely, so that's good. You meet all sorts of great people. You get these wonderful views. For me, I sometimes go out with Andy. I often come out on my own. I love them both as much. I love going out with Andy because we have a good laugh and get talking about all sorts. But I love coming solo because I can just sit here and just take in everything while enjoying a coffee, as long as it's not too hot. You know, and you're not under any pressure to get that right photo or do that time lapse, whereas when you're with people, sometimes you're feeling like you're annoying them because you're taking that long over a photo or a video. So, and also when you're on your own, it just helps you put everything that you think's a problem. It helps you put it into perspective.
Like I've got a few little health issues going on at the moment, and oh, have I got myself in some states over it. But just being up here this weekend, it's made me think, yeah, I can't wait to finally get a diagnosis, but I don't think they're serious, and it really has helped me put it into perspective. And just today, I will go home, back home to Stoke, and I will be buzzing for the next few days, and then after that I'll be planning my next camp. So and if you're into photography, you end up in some stunning places, so again, you know, it's a good thing for that. Videography, same. You know, it's not the cheapest thing to, especially starting out. I mean, I watched a YouTube video, a guy, he makes his living off doing wild camping YouTube, so, but he went and proved that you can get the full kit for 200 quid from Go Outdoors. I mean, it was cheapest chips tent, cheapest chips, virtually everything. But he went out in, I think it was February, during that rainy period, just to prove that you don't have to break the bank. I mean, the more you get into it, you want better stuff, and especially winter. So yeah, it's not cheap. You know, a wrap sleeping bag, yeah, they certainly aren't cheap. A decent air pad, especially one that, like mine, are rated 7.6, and then you've got your clothings, your Gore-Tex jackets, and all that kind of thing. It mounts up, but you can start off with a budget of 200 quid. That'll get you out there, and then you just add to it. You don't need to film it like I do. Just checking if I got my mic on. Bloody hell, I haven't. I don't know how much of that you heard, or I'm not doing it again. Hopefully you caught it. So right, the mic stays on, and then after 5 minutes of not being in use, it just automatically shuts down. So apologies. I'll try to turn the volume up on editing for the bit without the mic. But yeah, if you and a lot of people get put off by, oh, being out there in the middle of nowhere on your own. I never get scared. I mean, I went down the paranormal route not long ago, and it had it's had a very unlikely effect on me. I've gone from quite strong believer to extreme skeptic. The only time I watch paranormal videos now, I watch it through the debunkers, because 90% on YouTube, they're just scammers, grifters, and I don't like that. And it's, but anyway, that's a different story. Technically, in England and Wales, wild camping is illegal, but it's only a civil matter. You won't get taken to court. The worst that can happen is a landowner will ask you to move on. And if that's the case, you just say, okay, sorry, and just move on, out of sight. I've never come across anything like that. Just be careful where you pitch. Make sure you're away from any main paths, especially make sure you're out of sight of any farmhouses. But yeah, I never get the fear out camping, and I often camp in woodlands. I've even done a couple of nights in Cannock Chase looking for the supernatural, and the weirdest thing was a guy, and they are pretty much the thing you've got to watch out for most other humans. But out in places like this, you're only going to come across other hikers or backpackers, and as I say, they're lovely. So yeah, it's just, the benefits are just incredible, physical and mental. So I'll stop rambling. But yeah, I just wanted to say how how wonderful a hobby it is. And as you'll see in my next one, when we're up on the top of a Lake District mountain, that's wild camping at its best. Just going to have to choose a day where the clouds are above the summits, which could mean my next wild camp might not be Lake District, only because I want cloud-free summits so we get the best of everything. And if the clouds are low, I'll stick to the Peak District, but fingers crossed. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. I'll see you somewhere on this Roman road. So I've reached the Roman road. I've also just passed a medieval landmark, but I couldn't do a video because there was a couple of guys sitting resting up against it. They didn't mind me taking a couple of pictures, so I'll add them. But yeah, what I wanted to do an actual piece of that. But this is the Roman road, though the locals debate that. But on the OS app, it is called a Roman road. But yeah, this is the road that basically, well, this is the old road that takes me back down into civilization. So sadly we are coming towards the end of what's been a wonderful 24 hours in nature. I think we've still got a few more scenic spots to come across. Just a shame I couldn't do a video at this aging stone, I think it's called. Like I say, I took some photos. I did say, do you mind if I take some photos? They didn't get out of my way, but I still took some photos, so I'll just put some info up about it. Because there's quite a lot of, because you know, well, I assume you know that I love me stone circles and things like that. There's supposed to be a load of them in this. Let me just get this a bit better. Yeah, there's supposed to be loads of them in this area. So that wasn't a stone circle. It was a Neolithic standing stone, and then there's a pile of stones that represent. Yeah, I've got photos and I'll put some information up about them. Just a shame there was people there. But yeah, we follow this Roman road down and then you can see the main road. Sadly, I've got to walk some of that. I think I only have to walk a part of it and then I can get back on a nice footpath again. And then we're back into Littleborough. What I'm going to do, I don't think I'll add it to this video, but I want to tell the story of how I ended up moving to Littleborough, because it's quite the tale. But this is a backpacking video, so I'll add that as just as a separate video and under miscellaneous or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, so you can see where I hiked yesterday. I started off, again, I don't know how well, I mean I can see Manchester city centre again, but you can see the pylons. I hiked up and over this big ridge. Doesn't actually look far from here, but yeah, up over, way over the back of there, and then came onto Blackstone Edge here, camped probably there but way back, and then I've just tootled down to the Roman road, and now we're heading sadly onto a main road. Be great if I could follow this old Roman road all the way back, but no such luck. So yeah, obviously I've got some road walking to do. I do believe there is somewhere I can do one last little outro video, and then that'll be the end of this 24-hour adventure, and what a wonderful one it's been. But like I say, we're going to be out all the time this year. Right, I'll bring you back, no idea where, but somewhere, do an outro, and then like I say, I've got one more video due of explaining how someone from Stoke-on-Trent, back in his teens, ended up in Nottingham, and from Nottingham ended up moving up to Littleborough, and then spending 4 of the best years of my life here, because it's quite a tale. But I won't add that onto this video. Like I say, I'll just do that under miscellaneous. Anyway, I'll bring you back for an outro somewhere picturesque. Actually guys, I'm going to do the outro now. I've just looked at the other path that I can take, but it takes me about 3 miles outside the wrong direction. So just want to say thanks so much for watching, especially if you've made it all the way to the end. That really helps the algorithm. As I say, we're going to be in for some epic camps this year. Like I say, top of Lake District mountains, some of the Peak District's finest views, off into Snowdonia and the Yorkshire Dales. So stay tuned and expect more of the same, if not better. And we'll be back up here again to explore more of this magical area. So yeah, if you can hit that like, if you've enjoyed the video, I'm not one of those who's going to say smash that like button. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a like, or even hype. I believe that's where it's at these days, hyping the videos. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. It all helps, it really does. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. This has been one of my best yet. It really has. Location makes such a difference. But yeah, thanks so much for watching guys, and I will see you very soon in the next one.